Hello and good morning and good afternoon and wherever you are. My name is Miguel, aka Mighty Migs, and today we have a special guest who's not only an actor but also a producer. Please welcome Caitlin Lopez.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me, Miguel.
No worries at all. But you know what? Before we go further ahead, I'd like to mention that the sponsor of this podcast episode is actually Sydney Actors Association. It's run by my good friend and acting coach, Sam Haff. Good guy. And if you're an actor looking to sharpen their craft in any way, shape, or form, please visit the description box below and visit their Instagram page and tell my friend Sam that Mighty Migs, aka Miguel, and even Caitlin sent you to learn some new tricks here and there. Okay, but before we go further ado, thank you so much for joining us, Caitlin. Give us an introduction about yourself.
Yes, well, hello, hello. My name is Caitlin, and I pretty much started off as an actor. And that's all I ever wanted to do since I was like 3. And then as I guess time progressed, I decided I really loved filmmaking as well. I wanted to give it a go behind the camera. So that's when I did every single role you can think of, but I found myself in producing and AD work. And pretty much from then on, I just kept acting, kept producing, and it's actually expanded into so many other things as well. I think as a creative, you tend to wear a lot of different hats. So it's not just the acting, producing, it's directing, makeup artistry. I've done set design. I've done a whole bunch of things that I guess just made me a better creative overall. But yeah, it's pretty much me. I'm Latin. I have Irish in me. I've got a bit of a nice little mix there. Thanks, mum and dad. And yes, I love dancing. I love exercise. I love all the things, and love animals. So I just said to Miguel before, I do apologize if my little cat Daisy decides to jump up and be a part of this, because she probably will.
Well, welcome aboard, Daisy. So yeah, so if you can hear me, we love you. I think especially Caitlin loves you. So yeah, so
Yeah.
welcome aboard. Yes, so feel free to interrupt your mother anytime you
Yeah.
like.
Anytime. She's going now, but she'll come back.
Okay, well, see you soon, Daisy. Yeah. So the next question that I have here. So, in your show reel, which scene and role was the most fun to play out of The Mercy of Others, Enduring Legacy, What a Beautiful Night, Mugged, and King of Kings, and why?
Ooh, so we'll start with Mercy of Others. That one was really, really cool. So the really exciting thing about that one is it's on Amazon Prime. And so that was like a really cool accomplishment and really, really great team. The director, Damien, he made the set really, really cool. I mean, it was like, I think 15 days straight of night shoots, actually. So we were doing like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So that was a really, really exciting and challenging film that I got to be a part of that I think, grew me a lot as an actor. But I think favorite scene to do. Um, I think it probably would have been the very first shoot night. And I don't want to give it away, but it's a psychological thriller. And kind of just thinking in a psychological thriller when it's the like aftermath or it's the moment that the character's kind of, getting away from it all. That was my very first shoot. So I had to encapsulate the entire emotion that I hadn't even gone through yet, the whole entire cast and for the whole movie and stuff, and just put it into that and imagine what my character had gone through from obviously reading the script to now. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, just running at night behind all these cars, running into a house, and had blood all over me, fake blood. So that I think that was probably one of my favorite like moments. Um, but I think my favorite scene would be just with the whole crew. It was a small, cast and crew, small cast. And so I think any time that I was able to be with all of them in a scene was really cool because the dynamic and the energy and how we played off one another was really, really awesome. And we all just kind of, encapsulated our characters just really, really well together. So yeah, shout out to the Mercy of Others cast and crew. It was a very, very awesome but yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's what stood out to me the most. Am I correct if I say that's actually the first scene in the show reel? Right?
Yes, yeah, first one.
Yeah. I think you have an agent as well, right?
Pardon?
You have an agent, acting agent as well yourself, right?
I did, not at the moment.
Oh, not at the moment. Okay. So the reason
Yeah.
why I wanted to ask that is because they told me my agent told me just put your best scene forward, and obviously you put your favorite and your best scene forward. That's what's going to get people to get hooked on your watching your show reel. You know what I mean? Within that few minutes. Yeah. So
Yeah, thank you.
I think what to me what stood out was when I think not just King of Kings, but the one where you were crying. Was that I think that was Enduring Legacy, or was it? Which one was that where you were crying? Like your lover was actually in war or something like that.
Yes, yeah. So that was Enduring Legacy. So that was a short film for MAF, and it's actually based on a true story. So Harry Hartwig and Mary, I played Mary Hartwig, his wife, and so basically it's a really beautiful organization where they have planes that they take out to remote areas, and they give all different resources and things like that to them. And Harry, who was one of the pilots, he unfortunately passed away 3 months after it all got established in a plane crash. And so he actually never got to see his enduring legacy, basically. But since that whole thing, it's still going strong, and they're still helping so many people and bringing so many resources. So it actually was a short film plus a bit of a documentary, because you have Mary in it as well, and she actually talks about I guess that experience and everything that they did. So very, very cool.
Oh, nice, nice. You know what? May he rest in peace, and I hope he's in a better place now. So this is an
I'm so
honor
sorry,
again.
Miguel. I can't hear you or see you.
Oh
Hang
wow.
on.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Sort of. I think there's an issue with the internet.
Okay. In the laptop that I'm using, it's actually yeah. Hold on. It's actually full bar. So yeah. Oh, seemed to get cut off there for a second, but bear with us. Let me entertain you. Yeah.
Can you see me and hear me? Don't we love technical problems? Can you?
Yes, yes, yes. You know what? That
Amazing.
kind of I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on mobile hotspot only because just in case the Wi-Fi at the gym actually
I did the
cuts you
same
off.
thing. I was like, I'm
Oh, you did.
hotspotting this because I don't know what's happening, but
Hold on.
amazing.
Hold on a second.
Okay,
Can you, yep. Can you hear me now?
again.
Woohoo! Yeah, yeah, okay, cool, cool. You know what? I'm gonna post it
Awesome.
unedited for you. So, but anyway, I forgot what we were saying, but yeah. So let's just say,
Yes.
may he rest in peace. That's right. Your friend who passed away, who didn't get to see that finished passion project. Let's just say that this is dedicated to him as well, even though I never met him. Very dedicated to him. Yeah, may he rest in peace.
Well, yes, so the film itself, Enduring Legacy, is about him. So he was one of the first pilots to start basically the whole process. So it wasn't my friend, great guy, I'm sure, wasn't my friend, but so this whole so math program that they do, and they send out a whole bunch of pilots to give resources.
Hmm.
So he actually was the one to pass away in a plane crash 3 months after. And so this whole story is about basically what they set up, what it looks like today, and how this organization has actually helped so many different people and impacted so many people's lives through what they started many, many years ago. So I had the honor of playing the younger version of his wife.
So what was his surname?
So Harry
What was his
Hartwig.
Hartwig? Okay, that's right.
Hartwig?
Yeah, I remember now yeah, in your resume it said that you were playing Mrs. Hartwig in that thing. So yeah,
Yes.
so very good. All right.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Okay, Mrs. Hartwig, or should I call you Serenita? Like we can go to the next question now. See, okay. In terms of your education as an actor
Yep.
and performer, which course has given you the most practical theories in your acting career so far?
Yes, so I studied full time for 2 years at Screenwise, and this was their full time diploma course. I think I was probably the second year when they actually started that course, and for me, that was the very first time I ever, really studied acting properly. So I was out of school. I took a gap year, and then I went into that. And I did go, like, I went to NIDA and I studied at AFTRS and TAFTA, and Jessica Orsick was my acting coach for a very long time. So I think private coaching was amazing for many different reasons. And she was an incredible coach. And I think like that there was a lot of amazing nuggets of gold there that I learned from her. Like I learnt the American dialect. And I also did like a lot of, sort of self tapes and things like that, and learned how to bring out the best in my acting, and really found myself I guess, as an actor as well, and the different kind of genres I could play quite well. So definitely loved that. But I think in terms of when I studied at Screenwise, like, of course, when you're doing it full time, you're just constantly learning so many different like methods and techniques, and you're learning from a lot of like people that are in the industry. And so I think like I learned a lot of valuable stuff there, and also like you work with your class as well, so you act with every single person and learn in that space. So I think I learned a lot of valuable things in Screenwise, but I would say I also learned a lot of valuable things with a private coach. So both were very, very good.
Yeah, I agree with that because like one-on-one coaching, you can learn more in
Yeah,
different ways, and obviously, just like Muay Thai and boxing, right? You got people in the class, in your class, in the group class. If you have sparring, for example, the more the merrier. But when it
yeah,
comes to one-on-one coaching, you can learn different things that's just specific to you as Captain Lopez. So that's the way I look at things. But good on you.
yeah,
Keep progressing in that field because at the end of the day, you can never ever stop learning. So yeah,
yeah,
okay.
of
Okay, so
course.
keep at it. Yeah, yeah. So we'll talk about more Screenwise a little later on
Hmm.
because that's definitely one of my. So far, that's my favorite acting course that I've done. I mean, a few acting courses
Nice.
I've done over there as well. So yeah. But
Yeah.
remember, this isn't about me, so let's make it about you as much as possible.
Oh,
So
it's
yeah.
about all of us. It's fine.
Oh yeah, but this is featuring Caitlin Lopez, not Michelle Sebastian. Come on, so yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next question. So, how does your profession as a full-time producer help with your acting career? How does it fuel your passion for acting so far? This is the Passion for Acting podcast, by the way.
Love it. Um, well, a little backstory of how I got into producing, and I think a lot of creatives will be like, I feel it. Um, the reason I actually went into it originally was because I wasn't getting enough work as an actor in the Australian, industry, and it was really, really difficult. And I think like I was trying to figure out, oh, what could I do to keep making a living as a creative. Um, so I didn't have to do a million day jobs all the time. Like I really, I was like, oh, I want to be in a creative environment and I want to grow and that sort of thing. So I ended up kind of going into it and kind of fell into it. Like I said, I never thought about being a producer. If I'm being honest, when I was younger, I was like, what the heck does a producer do? Like, you kind of, about the actors, directors and like all this sort of stuff. So when I was younger, I was like, what do they actually do? And so it was funny, ironically, that I fell into it. And I always thank a very good friend of mine and someone that is like a mentor to me. He's the reason I actually got into production and helped me, I guess, find my feet in that space. So Bradley Economy, I will always say thank you to him. Brilliant, brilliant cinematographer. Um, And I pretty much remember just talking to him being like, hey, like, I just want to get some advice on, like, you know, being on the other side of the camera. Like, I'd love to study production and or something. Like, should I study? Should I do this, that? And he was like, just come and sit, just shadow. And I was like, cool. And he's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I have no idea. And so, yeah, that's when I kind of started out, you know, assisting, and then set like styling. And then I always loved doing makeup. So I always had this, like, I'd always do like family's makeup and friends' makeup. Like, I just loved it. And so then one time they're like, oh, can you do makeup for this? And I was like, cool. So then I actually built a kit, an entire kit, which is now a massive suitcase. And so I started doing that. And then I got asked to AD, and then I got asked to produce. And so it was quite interesting that I fell into that. And so I think it's 6 years down the track now, I've been producing. And so I think for me, like, it really, like, it made me understand what we need from actors. So as a producer and a director, it's like, okay, well, now I have the entire picture of this project, which is so interesting coming from an acting point of view, because we come in at one point and then we leave. Whereas as a producer, we're there from end to end. So, like, you know, your pre-production to post-production. So we see it all, we plan it all, we prep it all. So the producer's like the glue to any production. And so it was very interesting coming in being like, oh, this is so interesting. This is how they do things, or this is how it's planned. And, you know, then we go into the casting side of things. And I think that was quite interesting for me, working as a producer and actually casting for different things as well. So I worked for Destination New South Wales through a production company, and I would have to do a lot of casting. And it was so eye-opening, because I would find all these people to cast in these roles, and then I would sit in on these meetings and pitch the people that I found that I think would be great, you know, for the roles. And I think for actors, like, we take it so personally, you know, sometimes when we have rejection after rejection, I'm like, oh, but I could have done this, I could have done that. And it's like, actually, no, you just had to be like taller or you just had to like have a different hair color. And so it doesn't always come down to your talent or what you bring, because what you bring is so unique, and what you bring is you know, something really special. And so I think for me, it made me have that eye-opening side of like, wow, it could just be the fact that I'm not blonde. It could be the fact that I have green eyes and not blue. And it's just as simple as that. And it's kind of cutthroat sometimes. And so I think for me, like, it was like, okay, it gave me a better understanding being behind the camera. And also I think as well, it made me a better producer and a better director, because I could understand what I needed from the actor and how to actually speak with them and how to get them into like their, I guess, roles or the emotion and stuff. So it's beautiful. I feel like it's this beautiful cycle and give and take.
I agree because when I produced as well, like, obviously just my own passion projects and whatnot, but not on the same level as you, of course, because you're a full-time producer. And that's why on the sort of obvious when we were filming at Mecca, we just like, you took charge. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a real life producer in this. I'd love to see it. So,
Yeah.
and then whenever you suggested something, hey, look, I mean, ask the director there, because now he's in charge, because this is what.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean, because like a lot of times you can only just focus on, you know, your what you can control. Of course, you can't change your look. I can't change my skin color, my hair, or my ethnicity, or what you want to call it. But just believe in yourself. And I'm not saying you're not, but just keep believing in yourself, knowing that Caitlin Lopez has brown hair, green eyes, and looks Latina. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, because you are unique. Because if you're how many times have I heard of like, you know, people saying the same thing? Oh, I'm not blonde hair, blue eyes. And then you meet people who have blonde hair, blue eyes, and then
Yeah.
and there's millions of them. Okay, only one person can get the role out of like, you know, 30 blondes who got blue hair, like blonde hair and blue eyes. You know what I mean? So they
Yeah.
have their own struggles as well. But
Yeah.
you know, it all comes down to like what you said, the vision and how you look, and just like, obviously for me, don't mean to brag, and I'm going to make it about myself for a couple of minutes, but you know, a lot of Asian actors, male actors especially, they play victim. They say, oh, look, I always play the chef, I always play the accountant, or some kind of geeky, nerdy taxi driver, whatever you call it. But for me, I've been blessed enough to play the cop most of the time. I've played the cop or a soldier, like the alpha roles. But it's just because the way I look. And but those guys, I tell them, look, do something about it. Get a haircut, work out more, look the part, or just create your own passion projects. So in your case, just keep doing what you're doing because one of these days, and that's why when you started following me on Instagram, it was just right timing. I believe it was divine sin. So because, and I'm thinking, two other girls kind of rejected it, and I'm like thinking, okay, then I reached out to you, then here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Meant to be.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but keep at it. Yeah. So because you've come a long way, and you being a producer, it's not by luck. It just happens. Yeah. Because producing, you didn't choose producing or acting. Acting and producing chose you. Okay.
Yes, love it.
Woohoo! Okay, cool. So let's go to the next question. Yeah, I sound like Homer Simpson there for a second. Okay.
True.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I'm a huge Simpsons fanatic, but that's for another time. So yeah. So do you consider training in salsa, boxing, Muay Thai as your way to stay in shape for your upcoming roles?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I love dance. And I love boxing. I love Muay Thai. So I think I used to be super athletic as a kid, and then I got diagnosed with asthma, and there were like a lot of things that like really kind of made me struggle a lot in I guess keeping up with exercise the way that I used to. And so as I got older, and I fell in like more and more, not fell into it, I chose it. I went into the arts more. And so a lot of that was like your acting, your singing, your dancing. So I always found a love for dance. I would say that it's definitely like the lesser of the others in terms of like, I definitely like a strong actor and that sort of thing and singer over my dancing. But like, salsa, I'm like, I just feel like it's in the blood. So for me, I'm like, I always loved salsa. And then I did like salsa and bachata classes, reggaeton as well. And so I really loved it. So it's not that I'm like, I can be super consistent in it these days, but I definitely do a lot of classes in it. My boxing and Muay Thai, I was doing a lot more consistently and also weight training. So I'm currently training for High Rocks. And so that's like a whole nother level of fitness and something that I never thought I would do, but thanks to my partner, I'm jumping into it. But I think, yeah, it's definitely something I really want to do fitness wise. And I think this is where sometimes we can get into a bit of a dangerous place as actors because we're constantly, it's all about our, what we look like, our appearance and stuff like that. And so I never wanted to fall into that whole thing of like, oh, I've got to get skinny or I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Because like I was like, no, what's important is fitness. What's important is strength. What's important is endurance. And because I live like such a busy life, I want to be able to have energy and be healthy and be fit. And when I'm like in my 80s, I'm still lifting weights, like that's the goal. So yeah, it definitely keeps me in shape. And helps me, I guess, with the energy side of things for very demanding life right now.
I agree with that section because obviously me, I live it as well because I'm a friend. But in your case, you want to look the part and energy levels. And you have a busy life. You want to be able to look after yourself. But I think we as actors we tend to get so focused on the goal and we neglect every other part of our lives in general. You know what I mean? Like it can be socializing or family time and all that stuff. I mean, it's easy for me to say I don't have family time because I'm a bachelor, but the thing is, yeah, it is what it is. But nothing's going to be ever perfect in terms of that balance in general when you're out there. But most days, as long as you're having fun, or my advice, see, not just for you, but people listening and our fellow actors or people just who are listening to this podcast right now, is that try to be as balanced as you can because in the moment you feel like you're being overworked, take a step back, which can be practically taking a couple of days off from work or just physical activity. You can just do the things that you enjoy. Like if you like going to the beach during summer, or you like being in the water, or you like go karting, just do those things. So yeah. So and all the best with High Rocks. You still owe me 20 squats anyway.
No.
Well, burpees. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, burpees. I hate them.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because when I forgot to reply to your message the other day, I was just like, you know what? I just said to myself, you know what? I'm going to I'm going to debate over it while we're recording. Yeah,
I
yeah,
knew
good.
you were going to do that. No, for everyone watching, it's because I didn't get my like headshot and my CV and things like that in really quick because your girl works full time as a producer, just launched my production company. I barely have time for myself. But yes, so Miguel was like, "You've got to do like, this many squats and burpees," and I'm like, "No."
Well, I'm going to put it in my you owe me list. Yeah. Okay, give me a second.
Oh God, nah,
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
Yeah, so you got 14 days to do them. So if it's not in 14 days, I'm going to send it to the sheriff, and the sheriff will knock on your door, and you owe them 20
Oh
squats.
God.
Okay.
Look, I'm sure my coach, Mark O'Brien, he's amazing. He does the Fit series and stuff. He's got my whole program there, so I've been doing everything. So I'm sure he's gonna put burpees in there and whatever, which I hate, but they're great. It's all good.
Mark, I'm going to talk to you after this. Yeah. Okay. Just
Dang it, I shouldn't have said his name.
well, I mean, anyway, remember I am Mr. Bond, so I do a lot of espionage. Just kidding.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
yeah. Anyway, so enough of the tomfoolery. So let's go with the next question. So, what
Hmm.
are your niche makeup skills as a HMUA? Do you specialize in for film and photo shoots? Is it more makeup for like modeling, bruises, blood for film, all of the above, or even more?
So I mostly specialize in like film, TV makeup, and like editorial photo shoots, fashion, that sort of thing. I've only very rarely had to do like bruises and I guess special effects and stuff. I definitely went to like a masterclass about it and was like very interested in going into it. But I think for me, I was like, I don't want to spread myself too thin because I'm already like producing, acting, moving more so into directing. And I was like, I've got my makeup, but I was like, I don't want to do too much. So my thing was I definitely like just kind of wanted to stay in the film, TV, photo shoot world.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So, when it comes to the blood that you make for the film and all that stuff, is that chocolate dyed red as well, or something else? Because at the times I've did it, it's actually like
Yeah.
chocolate dyed red. Yeah.
So no, so actually, there is this makeup store which I love. It's called Scotty's Makeup. And it's like my go-to like makeup store, and I'll go in and I'll find like pretty much everything. And they actually have a lot of pre-made stuff. So you can get like the proper, blood capsules, or you can get like actual wounds that you can stick on, and then you just use like some special stuff to go around it, whatever, make it more realistic. So they actually provide a lot of different things for makeup artists that just make our lives a lot easier because the issue that we would find a lot on set as makeup artists is time. So, they might want like this particular wound, or they may want blood, or they may want a full glam look in like 20 minutes. And so that's like so hard to do. All my makeup artists out there will be like, oh my gosh, the feels. And so it's like we've got to create this look that takes maybe an hour or more and do it within 20 minutes, or if we're lucky, we get an hour, we get 50 minutes, 30 minutes, but usually it's not the case. So, what a lot of makeup artists in the industry had done, and what you can actually get in this store, is a lot of the pre made stuff, so that time is not an issue. So, if you've got to do something really quickly, you just go, yeah, cool. But yeah, there's lots of different ways that you can, make your own stuff, or, be really resourceful whilst you're on set, like if you do the chocolate thing and whatever. But no, I definitely, if I ever do it, I want it to be realistic. So
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Because imagination goes a long way, you know. So, yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this is an exciting venture because obviously you do have that specialty as a makeup artist, not just for on set, but in general, right? You know, because
Mm.
obviously I'm not going to say the names, but the thing is, you were promoting some stuff on the set of Orpheus, which is awesome. You know what I mean? So that's going to
Yes.
be yeah. So that was awesome the way you did that, and you did it while we were having lunch as well. Like, look at this. This is a woman at work right now. So awesome. So,
Always gotta hustle.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because while we're having Thai, and there I am eating my, I can't remember what I had, but I was just thinking like, oh, I'm eating, and then you can do your work. So yeah.
And I'm doing
Anyway,
content. Oh
But
God.
it blended well with Chelsea and it blended well with Ruby. So
Yeah.
you girls helped each other out because Jeff and I we didn't have any idea what was going on because we don't really have anything to do with makeup, but each to their
Yeah.
own. So yeah, but yeah, good times ahead and good times back then. But you know what? When it comes to this skills of yours, that's another skill that you can continue developing because obviously different people require different makeup, and I
Mm.
can only imagine what it's like. And as for your new venture as your own production company, I
Yes.
want to wish you all the best with that, and I'm sure you can go a long way. So, do you mind telling us what the name of the production company is?
Yeah, of course. So we are called Hustle and Flow Media, and hence I was
Yes.
like hustle. But yeah, so we launched in March of this year, and I've got my business partner. She's amazing, Christine Toke. Shout out to her. She's a brilliant photographer and diving more into the producing side of things, so I can dive more into the directing side. But basically, like for the longest time, I wanted to create my own production company, and I think it's all about timing and meeting the right person because I knew I wanted to do it in a partnership because a production company is really great when you can have that other person with you. Um, and you have different strengths and stuff like that. Like the awesome thing is she loves all things admin. She's just like, yes, I love spreadsheets and color coding things, and I'm like, I couldn't think of anything worse. I just want to be on set and I want to create. So it's definitely like an awesome. This is her right here, and we live together, housemates. This is Christine, my business partner.
Wow. Yes, I've seen her Instagram. I want your
Yes.
autograph later on, yeah,
Yes, he
because
wants your
she,
autograph later on.
yes.
Yes. So I love that perfect timing. But yeah, so we decided to create it this year. And we actually created a podcast as well alongside it, just called Hustle and Flow. And basically, so we'll get you on there, Miguel. We'll get like whoever wants to be on there. But the idea was creatives of all different, levels and skill sets and things like that. We wanted to get onto the podcast because what I found in the industry is you have some people that are incredible that will mentor you, like my mentor, and you learn so much. But then I find sometimes as well there can be a bit of a gatekeeping mindset and a bit of competition. And for me, I was like, if I wasn't, if someone didn't take the time to help me and mentor me and train me and just give me an opportunity, I wouldn't be where I am today, or it would have taken me a lot longer. And so this whole podcast was I wanted to be able to bring people, with their wisdom and their experience and share it. So if there's, people that are just new or fresh wanting to find what they want to do in the creative industry, or they just want to learn more, these people can actually give them great insight. And we can create a community to help creatives of every single generation. And then with our production company, we have two sides to it, which is your commercial corporate branding. So as a producer, I produce a lot of television commercials, promos. I do a lot of content creation, that sort of thing. So that's our one section of our production company. And the other side is all things narrative. So your feature films, TV shows, short narratives, documentaries. So we kind of have the best of both worlds. So creating our own stuff, which is what I loved, like what you said about as an actor, like create your own content, like do your own things. I'm such a big believer in that. Like, I'm creating a feature film at the moment, and I'm, working on a documentary. I'm currently in production for short form narratives that I want to get out into film festivals, on YouTube, social stuff like that. So constantly creating, finding a team is really important. And just creating opportunity, which is what I wanted to do for a lot of creators. So
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. You know what? Like you said, it's a community, and the beauty about this industry is that you have networks and all that stuff.
mm,
Because networks can some people who can either help you or you can help them. Because
yeah.
it goes both ways. Because it's a small industry here, and the beauty
Mm,
about it is that a lot of us know each other or even know of each other. We've never even met each other. So
yeah.
I'm sure you've also had people come, oh yeah, I've seen you around on social media or stuff like
Mm,
that as well, right? Yeah, you've had that
yeah.
as well. Okay.
Yeah. It's cool. And you kind of, yeah, there's so many mutual friends. Like there's been so many times that someone's followed me and I'm like, oh, we have like 30 mutual friends. Or like I've seen someone, I'm like, oh, cool. And then I see that we're somehow like we know someone through someone, or we've seen someone somewhere or whatever. And I love that about socials, because you connect, and one day maybe you'll work with them. And I think that's really really cool. Like there's been some people like yourself that we've just seen each other on socials, at each other, and be like, hey, like I'm doing this film or I'm doing this project. Do you want to jump on it? Like, and it's just like, yes, why not?
Yeah. I think the good thing about that is that not only you had the look for the role of Serene, but also like because remember like Chelsea wanted to audition for it, and I didn't have a proper role for her. I said, screw it. I like her attitude. Let's make a new role for her. And
Yeah.
I told her about how I saw you both in one photo, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, please. I mean, if you can, please choose Caitlin because we get
Oh,
along
I
like
love
bread and
Chelsea.
butter." So yeah, Chelsea, we
Yeah.
love you. Okay,
Yes.
shout
Mwah.
out to you.
Yes.
Okay, cool,
Back in
cool.
our Snow White days, we did a musical together many, many, many years ago.
Oh, look, yeah. Well, it seems like just like it was yesterday. Am I correct?
Yeah, 100%. Even though I was like 10 years younger, but like that's fine.
Oh, well, some of us never age apparently. So, from what I've seen, like you probably don't age at all either. You know what I mean? So, the blessed
Thank you.
Latin genetics, it can be just as good as the Asian genetics, but
Yes, thanks,
aging.
Dad. Shout out.
Yes, yes, yes. Hey, thanks, Mr. Lopez. Yes, Señor Lopez. ¿Cómo estás?
I
Okay,
know.
cool. Yeah, it just like it reminds me of Mario Lopez whenever I say that to you.
Oh yeah.
But
Yes,
I
Mario
love.
Lopez, Jennifer Lopez. Everyone thought I was related to her when I was in school.
Yep, and now we got Caitlin Lopez. Yeah, there
Yes.
we go. Come on. All right, the new Jennifer Lopez coming up. But the last question that we have here. So, what type of performing do you include in your content creation? Is it improv, a bit of indoor presenting? What is it?
It's a mix of things. So I tend to do like a lot of content creation for like your beauty and fashion stuff. I think being like a makeup artist, I get like a lot of makeup products or skincare and stuff like that. But in saying that, I'm very particular on what I will content create for. Because I'm very big on like what goes on my skin and what goes in my body and stuff like that. And if I create anything, I want to make sure it's good. So yeah, so pretty much like a lot of stuff is I'll either just create it myself, script it, like come up with everything. I'll chat with whoever I'm working with, and then just make it happen. Really, other times it is improv, I will say. And presenting as well. So I do a mix of everything. So whether it's presenting to camera, whether it's just fashion, beauty, different beauty looks, stuff like that.
Podcasting.
Podcasting, yes.
There we go. So yeah, there we go. I love presenting as well because it's a good form of improv. And when you're presenting, when I see that on Instagram, because sometimes it just comes to my feed, and all of a sudden you guys are just like having fun as well. You and Christy, it just
Yeah.
yeah, because it's just passion, Because one of my favorite ones of yours, where I couldn't stop laughing when you said food is life. You guys are eating in the background, and
Yeah.
and I'm just thinking of what was that? It looks like kebab, or it looks like pizza. I don't know. What were you guys eating in that one day?
Yeah, so that was BitchCon. It's amazing business group for women. And so we got this like little pack. So it's like this food pack. I have no idea what we're eating, but it was great. But yeah, we what Miguel was talking about was we were in the back of someone's interview and we were stuffing our faces. And like, when you think you look normal, or like you think you're like, yeah, I'm fine. No, we were like stuffing our faces and just looked like out of it. And so that reel, we just kind of when food is life and just kind of zoomed in. We did not look great at all, I must say, but it was very, very funny.
Well, I think the music was what made it funny as well. And not only that, the poor girl was telling her testimony all
She
of a
was.
sudden, and it just became about you. I'm like, oh, I know food is life, but hear me out. I mean, hear
Yeah.
her out. Yeah.
What happens when you decide to film and there's people in the background? If we knew, we'd be out of there. We wouldn't be stuffing our face.
You can tell me the truth. You did that on purpose, didn't you? Right?
Oh yeah, we wanted to shine. We were like, girl, we're the main character back there.
Exactly. Here's another thing as well. So obviously, like when you're eating, you are actually exercising the facial muscles. So this can come handy as well. This is probably not acting related, but as a
Mm,
trainer, this is what I practice as well. So when you eat crunchy stuff like granola, carrots, or celery, and all that stuff, it can help you define your facial features. So yeah, because apparently your face has the most micro muscles in your whole
mm.
body. So when you're smiling like this, like that. So you
Yeah,
have thousands of little micro. That was a creepy smile, by the way.
just
Yeah.
a little
So
bit.
I know. Tell me about it, right? Yeah. I was supposed to be Bond, not Jack the Ripper. So yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. Well, did you have any closing thoughts at all before we conclude, Caitlin, or what?
Um, Yeah, no, I think in terms of actors, like, any actors out there, it can be like a very tough industry. But you have a passion for it for a reason, and it may not look the way that you envisioned or you planned or you had hoped for. Definitely my life. I'm 31 now, and how I pictured my life is very different to what it is now, but I am so thankful for the experience, the skill set, and everything that I've learned along the way. And there's a reason our lives turn out the way that they do. There's a reason we have a particular path. There's a reason I'm producing and directing and doing all of that now, as well as acting. But I would say, like, my best friend, love her to bits. There was a time when I was just really focusing on producing and all those sorts of things, because I was disheartened. There was a time where I was like, nothing's happening, or I'm not really getting many auditions, and it's me kind of creating. And I remember her just taking me aside and being like, girl, why aren't you acting? She's like, you need to keep acting. You're so good at it. Like, I miss seeing you in that space. And she was just so encouraging. Love you, Phoebe. And I just remember going, yeah, I do need to get back into that. I've been avoiding that, and I think every actor gets to that point where they get a bit disheartened, or they try to do something else, or they do something to distract them from, I guess, like, not accomplishing what they wanted to accomplish at whatever age or whatever it may be. But just don't give it up. We act in every single capacity. If you have a passion for it, or if you're getting rejected time and time again, and you're not getting the things you're auditioning for, create your own stuff. Like, social media is so powerful. Like, you can create mini series on TikTok and social media and things like that. And I guarantee if you put like a call out, people are going to want to do the same. And that's, you find your group. But even with us, like, with our production company, like, reach out, like, if there's something you want to create, or like you want to collaborate on, like, we'd love to hear from whoever, and be able to work with actors, work with people in production that just want to bring their ideas to life and do it in a way that, is not the normal way, I guess. Like, sometimes we don't get the funding that we would really love, to build a project. So you tend to use your own resources and your own money and stuff like that, and put it into festivals or whatever. And honestly, sometimes you don't need to even spend a lot of money creating a short film, or creating a vertical series, or whatever it may be. Like, just start. I think that would be a big thing. Just start. If you have a concept, write it down, or collaborate with someone and just start doing something, and you'll get somewhere. I feel in my mind, you can't fail if you just try, and if you just take a step, and you can achieve so much. So yeah.
I want to add a few things into that as well, because obviously when you have a new reel or something like that as an actor, what you can do is you could just email it to a bunch of casting directors who know you, and then uh, whenever I do that, whether it's a new commercial reel or a new passion project, or just something new just came along that I got a hold of, such a clip, I'm gonna promote it to them. And usually, if I promote it to like a dozen casting directors,
Mm.
I get at least a few people like contacting my agent and saying, "Hey, we'd like Miguel to audition for this." And the same thing can happen to you, or very similar, or even better. A breakthrough can happen out of it. Because remember, like people like your agent, or people like the casting directors are on your side, and that's the reason why they ask you to audition for it. Because
Mm.
and their job is not only to audition you, but to also promote you. Say, oh, look,
Yeah.
Caitlin's the right person for this role, Miguel is the right person for this role, or Chelsea's the right person for this role, and then let the directors and the producers, whoever is in charge of the whole casting thingamajiggy, make the decision. But the rest is up to you. Stay what's in control, or what you're in control of, and just stay away from idiots in general. So what I'm talking about, people who are just naysayers, and for me, I'm old enough to just discern who are the haters when they first find out, or the people who are genuinely supportive. So go with your gut feeling and that, and just keep moving forward wherever you are. Yeah, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate your time, and I'm pretty sure Caitlin appreciates your time in viewing this podcast episode here. But if you haven't done so, please press the like and subscribe buttons just below this if you're watching this on YouTube, because your support will go a long way. So if you have any other topics or any other actors who you'd like me to interview myself personally, that'll be great. Yeah. But until the next episode, please stay safe, everybody. Adios.